you very much. That was, okay. All right. Tell you what, that was great. Who showers first? Excuse me a second. Well...
Wait a minute.
I thought you look like a...
You got to get the total look.
Oh.
It's everything.
You look like a convict in a sissy prison. And you better hope your cellmate is not a large man named Bubba. You sound good tonight. I thank you for coming. You must have been in line a long time, right? Because your 500 pizzas just arrived backstage. So you make up for last night. Did we have a strange audience here last night? They were all like character witnesses for Charles Manson's parole hearing. Weird thing happened to me today.
What happened?
I'm going to tell you. A guy came up to me in Hollywood Boulevard. I went there just for this joke. And he said, how about $1? And I said, for a cup of coffee? He says, no, I'm opening my own SNL. I can wait. We got plenty of time. Tonight, I think I like to mention occasionally what's on television tonight in case you get home and want to watch a show. How many of you are familiar with Beauty and the Beast? You know that show?
Yeah.
Another romantic episode tonight. It's the anniversary of their very first date. So Catherine takes Vincent to Jack in the Box for paw food. I'm surprised you're all well. You know there's a flu epidemic? I guess around, especially in Southern California. And just for safety's sake, I went to the NBC doctor today. Big mistake. You ever been to the NBC doctor?
Yes, of course.
Al Bendova? And he said, you want a shot? And I said, okay. And he poured 2 Harvey Bristol creams and says, I'll join you. He's a weird doctor. I'm not sure I trust a guy who has a collection of permaplacked rubber gloves used on celebrity patients. It's, and first time I ever undressed to a gypsy violinist, too. Strange doctor. Okay, little poll. How many of you watched President Bush's speech last night? That ought to make the president happy. It was not the most watched presidential speech in history. Apparently, it was outrated by the colorized version of the Bowery Boys in Baghdad. Which was on Turner Broadcasting. I can't get it in my head yet that Bush is president. It's kind of strange. Every now and then I catch myself saying, gee, I wonder what Nancy's going to do about that. And the reporters, did you see Vice President Quayle sitting right back on the podium last night? The reporters asked the vice president after the speech how he would rate the president's speech, and Quayle said he'd give it a 95 because he liked the words and it was easy to dance to. I didn't think it was right for him to sit behind Bush and go like this while he was... Bush's speech got kind of a lukewarm reception. Of course, it's kind of tough to play to a crowd that was just turned down for a $50,000 pay raise. And then I guess they have to do this by law, and they had the Democratic response to Bush's speech by the Democrats, Jim Wright and Lloyd Benson, and the ratings went up. Everybody thought it was a Bartles and James commercial. One historical note in the news today. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. Today is the 10th anniversary of the Ayatollah Khomeini's rise to power in Iran. 10 years. And tonight's his anniversary show, and he's showing clips. From 10 years of firing squads. It's kind of nice. And he shows that same clip every year. You know my favorite, where Joan Emery's spider monkey unravels his turban? It's great. Well, it's nice to see that Khomeini is still on top with all the new competition like Gaddafi and Abu Nidal. Hello? Now, this you will not believe. Front page of the New York Times today. Investigators, from the New York Times no less, concluded that professional wrestling is not real, but staged entertainment. Gee whiz. Were you shocked?
Yes.
Shocking. They investigated that. They also come up with some other shocking revelations. For example, that they found out that Heather Locklear does not actually work out at Jack LaLanne's health spa. Anyway, tonight, we got a good show for you. We have, I love this, Super Dave, the greatest daredevil ever. Super Dave Osborne is with us tonight. Super Dave. We have new young comedian by the name of Mark Schiff is with us, and the young lady, the young actress who is one of the stars of Empty Nest, Park Overall, is here tonight. And we are going to try, and we're also going to see if we could try to find 12 jurors in our studio audience tonight for the Oliver North trial. So stay where you are, and we'll be right back. Okay. Tonight we have, in a moment, Daredevil Super Dave Osborne is here tonight. We have young comedian Mark Schiff and Park Overall from Empty Nest. You ever been called for jury duty?
Never.
That's strange. I've gotten about 3 or 4 in the last couple of years. How many in the audience have ever received, I guess you call it a summons, to serve on jury duty? Yeah. How many were excused and didn't have to serve? Did anybody ever serve on a jury here?
Yeah.
Well, as you know, the Oliver North trial is about to start in Washington, and they had a devil of a time trying to find 12 jurors, and I guess they need, 9 backups also for the jury, who knew nothing about the case. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine?
Hard to believe.
55 million people watched the first day of Oliver North's testimony in July of 1887. For a month and a half, the hearings made the cover of every magazine and paper in the country. There were Oliver North T-shirts, buttons, bumper stickers, bubble gum cards. There were songs about him on the radio, including one called Ollie Be Good. There was an Oliver North doll, restaurants that actually served Ollie burgers. Now, the judge in this case, his name is Gerhard Gesell, had to find 18 people who were exposed to none of this, that had no knowledge. I mention it because he called us today and asked if we could find a few more alternates in case one of those jurors falls out. So what we're going to do, we have 500, pretty good cross-section of the American public in our studio tonight from most states in the country. And we're going to give you some multiple-choice questions to weed out the people who might know too much about the Iran-Contra affair. So you just have to pretend that you're in the witness box, and I'm questioning you as possible jurors. And remember, if you cheat on these questions, you're only cheating your country. And by the way, some of these are trick questions. So I'll give you these. Now, first of all, you all have to state your full name and hometown. So just do that together. My name is... That'll be fine. Thank you very much. All right, here are some of the questions. There's multiple choice. Abu Nidal is a Arabic for I think Oprah looked better fat. B, the sound Yasser Arafat makes when he's carsick. Abu Nidal. Or C, what Vanna spells on the letterboard when she's zonked on cold medicine. Those are the 3 choices. All right. Let's see now. Picture. Show the picture. Now I'll give you a choice here. All right. This is A, the kid who always told the teacher where you hid the chalk. B, the guy who did the voice for Mr. Ed. Or C, the only man alive to be awarded a Purple Heart for shredding his own thumb. All right, maybe we break these up with pictorial questions. All right, here's the next question. Who or what are the Contras? A, they are Nicaraguan birth control devices. B, the 3 dorky guys who sang in the background in Elvis movies. Or C, the proper medical term for someone who is born half man and half florist. All right, for general knowledge quiz. All right. When William Casey died, he was A, dressed like Cher. B, he was wondering if he could put French's mustard in Grey Poupon jars to save money at parties. Or C, he was still on Ed McMahon's mailing list. Listen carefully to this one. The defendant is charged with having defrauded the government. In this sense, what is defraud? A, cutting off someone's fraud. B, how they say forehead in Brooklyn. Hey, defraud. Or does defraud mean what Hervé Villechaize yells when Oral Roberts walks into the room? Managua is A, mysterious disease that kills members of Menudo when they turn 15. B, the sound of Oliver North's station wagon starting on a cold morning. Or C, the black stuff that forms around the neck of ketchup bottles. Most of you are doing pretty well with this. All right, what gift did Robert McFarlane take to the Ayatollah in Iran? A Polaroid of Zamfir's hauntingly beautiful tongue. B, a Merlin Olsen arms for hostages bouquet. Or C, a box of 2-in-1 flea and tick turban collars. All right. Another pictorial quiz here. Show you the picture first. Don't yell anything out. All right. What was this man doing while arms were being sold to Iran? A, he was trying to appeal his official code name, Rip Van Wrinkled. B, he was the guy who asked the Ayatollah, will that be paper or plastic? Or C, he was whacking the side of the TV with a broom while Nancy yelled, you're the president, call somebody. One where you're doing so well. Proud of you. When Eugene Hassenfuss crashed in the Nicaraguan jungle and was captured, why didn't he take his cyanide pill? A, he was captured before he could find a glass of water. B, he wanted to see the look on the soldiers' faces when he told them his name was Hassenfuss. C, he was waiting for them to come out in new easy-to-swallow caplets. Or D, because the in-flight meal didn't kill him, nothing could. All right. Oliver North helped channel millions to the Nicaraguan Contras. What did they spend it on? A date with Robin Givens. B, they thought everyone in Central America, they bought everyone in Central America a secondhand Yugo. Or C, they made over 700 long-distance calls to 976 Jungle Judy. Just enough, a couple here. What did the Tower Commission discover in Switzerland? A, Swiss women. B, Kurt Waldheim's old goose-step foot diagram. C, that they have no Veterans Day because they have no veterans. Or D, they discovered the entire Nixon administration wearing false mustaches and big floppy hats. Let's see, all right. Multiple choice again. What are Hassenfuss, Gorbanifar, and Poindexter? A, the secret ingredients of Mucilix. B, the 3 easiest guys to punch out in your gym class. Or C, the wives John Derrick never talks about. We have time for one more?
Yes.
The Tower Commission officially concluded, A, that Oliver North's voice broke more often than Mr. Haney's on Green Acres. B, the Sports Illustrated should have 2 swimsuits issue a year. Or C, Ollie was crazy not to put some major moves on Fawn Hall. Okay, there's our quiz. Now, just for the fun of it. Those, of course, are humorous questions.
Yes.
Now, it would be interesting to see 500 people here. And this is not to test anybody's intelligence. We're going to turn up the house lights. I'm going to ask if anybody in the audience over in this section, let me give you a name and see if there's anybody here that could possibly serve. Is there anybody in this section that did not know who, say, Robert McFarlane was?
No.
Gentleman in front of me, did not know? Did you know who Poindexter is? A math teacher. Well, he may be on the jury. This for real. This not. All right, let's take somebody in the middle up here. Anybody? Does the name Gobonifar? Anybody up there do not know who Gobonifar is? Hey, not too bad.
Yeah.
How about Fawn Hall? Anybody who does not know who Fawn Hall is? Isn't that interesting? All right, let's go over in this section over here. I'm trying to find somebody who knows nothing about the Iran-Contra affair. Pick somebody out over in that section of the audience. There's a gentleman. Sir? Do you know? Sir, have you ever heard of the Iran... Sir, have you heard of the Iran-Contra... Oh, never mind. Nobody knows anything. There's a man there who didn't know. Man there obviously was out of the loop at the time.
Yeah.
Well, I was out of the loop. I didn't know about that. Anyway, we'll be back with Super Dave Osborne, Mark Schiff, and Park Overall. Stay where you are. Okay, we are back. I could tell... Well, I could sense, I could sense the excitement in the studio tonight when they heard that Super Dave Osborne is here tonight. He's the star of his own smash hit series on the Showtime cable network. He has a movie deal with Columbia Studios, and he's written a book. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to introduce the world's greatest daredevil entertainer of our day, Super Dave Osborne. Gifts for us?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, that's very nice. They look good looking. Are these expensive?
Well, they're about $20 to the general public, but to a brilliant entertainer like yourself, it's my gift for you.
Well, hey, not nice.
I'm
Nice,
going to need
okay.
$20.
Oh, 20 bucks.
I watch you all the time on your own show. I want to congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
Great success, but I understand. I didn't know this was in your line of expertise. You've taken on some kind of new cause, anti-political jokes of some kind?
Well, I have
Hope it's
been-
not against me, because I do a lot of that. You know?
No, what I've done...
Quail jokes I do, you know. Is that?
Yeah. What I've done, Jimmy, is I've taken, during the campaign...
Johnny.
During the campaign, there were a lot of jokes pointed at Dan and Marilyn Quayle. And that was during the campaign. Well, after the campaign, they've continued. Now he's vice president. I can't do anything about the jokes that are told over the air. The audience responds or they don't. What bothers me is there are jokes in magazines. And it's chicken to me to write a joke in a magazine that isn't funny and hide behind it. So every time I see a joke on the Quails in a magazine, I'm going to take it out and I'm going to show it to a sensitive audience like you have. And when they don't laugh, maybe the people that write these jokes will print an apology.
Oh, I see. Do you have a name for this organization?
Yes, I do.
Was that the
bumper sticker.
is that the bumper sticker?
Absolutely.
See that? Can I just hold it up? That's a nice. That's very nice. Well, give me an example of what you mean. I don't know exactly what
All right,
we're
I have
talking
one
about
right here. Now, we've all seen this type of ad, Sid Starling Hair Group for Men.
Right.
All right, where you have before and after. And I was reading a magazine, and I saw this, and then halfway through the magazine, there was a joke ad at Marilyn Quayle's expense.
Funny. That's the kind of stuff you don't apparently care for.
No, and this is what I want to do. I want to get out there and do this as much as possible.
Anything else that bugs you about
Yes,
that?
I have something else. And this really, at first I was delighted with it, and then I was very disappointed. It said, send away for a bush quail army helmet. And so I did. And if you want to be George Bush, you simply put it on with the name George.
Yeah.
And if you want to be Dan Quayle, you just turn the name to Danny. And I said this was very nice because at least they respect the fact that he was in the National Guard.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Well, the fine print said if you really want to be Dan Quayle in the Army, push this little black button down.
Just press it?
Yes.
Thought it was kind of funny myself. Can I bring up the problem? You remember when you contacted us some time ago? You wanted to see if you could do Stump the Band on your show?
Well,
and I said, sure.
I have my own show on Showtime, and it's been a dream of mine. I love Stump the Band because when you do it, you never know what's going to happen. You talk to the people in the audience, and they request all kinds of songs, and then if Doc can't play them, you give away dinners.
Right.
And so I called you up, and I said, Donnie, can I do this? And you said...
Johnny.
And you said, sure, go ahead. And I did it on my show, and...
It's a lot of fun, isn't it? How'd it work out?
It didn't work out very well. What happened was...
It was a simple thing.
Yeah, but my band didn't show up, and I had a substitute band who didn't know any songs. It cost me $1,500. And
$1,500?
I found out tonight that you were responsible for the whole thing.
You had to buy the dinners?
Yes, I had to buy the dinners, and I found out you were responsible, so you played a good joke on me.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Forgive me. Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, and then I guess you have a book also.
Yes, I got a
Valentine's Day book. So we'll be right back. Here's a word from Michelob Taste. One taste and you'll drink it. All right, we return. Now, for those of you who just joined, it's kind of a special night. Super Dave Osborne is here tonight. Now, I didn't know about the political anti-joke movement, but I did not know you got a new book.
Well, yes, we do.
Something about Valentine's Day coming up?
Absolutely. It's called Dear Super, and it's Letters of Hope. And I've had people write to me through the years about relationships, and relationships that were on the verge of breaking up. Yet they persevered, and they tell in this book how they make it. And
so it's kind of a message of hope for people?
Absolutely. And it's a beautiful gift for Valentine's Day. And if you're having trouble in your relationship and you read the hardships that these people went through, it'll really give you a boost.
It makes your troubles seem much smaller, I suppose.
Absolutely. And it's very tasty and nice. And, you know, people laugh at emotions.
Yeah, I know that.
And this will give you a chance to really be alone.
Could you give us, say, a pre-Valentine letter or something?
I certainly will. I have one letter that I just love because these two people fought incredible hardships to really make it. It was sent to me by a Cliff Gregory, and it concerns a man named Tom and a girl named Janet. And Tom and Janet had similar problems. Tom had incredibly bad foot odor, and Janet had unusually bad breath. And because of this, they would go around all day long looking at the ground. They would go to work looking at the ground. They would work all day looking at the ground and go home looking at the ground. Well, one day after work, Tom left work, Janet left work, and they were walking home in opposite directions, and lo and behold, they bumped into each other. Their heads popped up, and it was the first time either one of them had ever made eye contact with another human being. Well, needless to say, love swept over the two of them, and they began to float down the street with love. The first hotel they came to, they floated into the lobby, and Tom said, "Give me your best room." And the manager said, "How about the penthouse?" Tom said, "Fine." He said, "There's the elevator." He said,
I can see why that you... Well, Super, I can see why you were reluctant to show that tape, but I'm sure that you'll work out the kinks and...
Yeah, we're going to do another one.
Make the right one.
Okay.
Well, it's great to have you here,
Thank
Super
you very
Dave. Hope
much.
to come back soon.
Thank you.
Keep us guessing. Super Dave Hospital. We'll be back in a moment right after this. All right, we are back. Okay, I'm always glad when a young comedian making his first appearance on the show, he gets a Friday night audience.
Yeah.
It's good for him. He is from New York. He performs at the Improvisation in Hollywood. He'll be in Philadelphia at the Comedy Works February the 24th and 25th. This is his first time with us. Would you welcome Mark Schiff? Mark?
Thank you very much. Nice to be here. I am from New York, and thank you, guys. I just got back from visiting my folks. You know, it certainly seems so much safer out here. Like, I have this apartment in New York. I just had this guy put bars on the window, and I swear he wanted to put little bars on the peephole that you look through to see who's there. So I asked him why. He said, because what happens is you look through it, and they'll suck the eye right out of your head. Could you imagine? Who is it? Ah! It's also healthier out here. I stopped smoking a couple weeks ago. I don't know if anybody's done this, but 3.5 packs a day. I would have smoked more. I could not stay up any more hours. It was impossible. And when you stop smoking, you start gaining a little weight, you know, it moves into the whole diet world. Diets, to me, don't work. It's this whole good-bad thing. You're good for a week, then you take one bite of cheesecake, you lose control. You're on the phone, pizza place, send over 9 pies. I'm completely out of control now, yeah. I want everything on there, hatch chairs, whatever you got, slap it on that pie. How long does it take you to get here? An hour? Take an ambulance. I'll pay the difference. And people tell me to exercise. I hate exercise. I'm not one of these people that wake up in the morning, exercise, yeah. I wake up like, I'm beat. I gotta lay down for another hour. Oh, man, I am burnt. I tried health clubs. They don't work. It's like I walk in, I give the guy a check for $500. I go, thank you very much. I will never see you again. Try lifting weights. They're so heavy, it's unbelievable. And jogging, the whole idea behind jogging is get that heart going real fast. I say, forget it. Have a pot of coffee. It does the same thing. Have a couple cups. Take your pulse. Honey, I'm up 140. Give me another cup, will you? And give me that donut with some salt on top of the thing. And we have any bacon juice left from last night? I want to spit that heart right out of my mouth. You wake up in the morning, your arteries are sitting next to you reading a book. I was visiting my parents, and this ever happened? You ever have dinner with your parents, look at them and think to yourself, if these weren't my parents, I'd never visit these people? And my mother's still exactly the same to this day, hates cleaning up anything, always says the same thing. You know, Mark, I am not your maid. I am not your maid. In my head, I'm thinking, yes, you are. Somebody's been cleaning up. It hasn't been me. I once told her, I said, you are my maid. Get me a hamburger. She ran and told my father. He said, sounds good. Get me one, too. I had an amazing thing happen last year. It's absolutely true. I flew back to see my folks. I flew L.A., New York, TWA, nonstop. Nonstop. And they lost my luggage. TWA, nonstop stuff's gone. And you ever wait at that chute for the stuff to come out? It's like, please, God, send it out. I have no underwear left. Please send it out. Other people get their luggage. They rub it in. It's like, I got mine. So I'm there like an idiot for a half hour, right? This red cap guy comes over, asks me what's happening. I tell him, he sends me into this room to see this guy named Ed. Ed is in charge of all luggage for TWA. He's showing me slides, drawings, you know. Finally, he goes, are you sure you checked it? I said, Ed, you know, I'm glad you brought that up. Just remembered, on my way to the airport, I chucked it out the car window. I don't know how I forgot that, Ed. Tell you the truth, I wasn't even on the flight. I just got out of a mental hospital a week ago. I was walking by a little dog. He told me to come here and kill you, Ed, all right? Then he goes, were there any zippers on the bag? I go, no zippers at all. You put the clothes in, you get a blowtorch and melt the leather back around the bag, all right? Then listen to this. I shot 5 rolls of film in New York. I get back to L.A., I mail it to this place called 25 cents a photo. It's supposed to be cheaper. A week later, they send me back 5 rolls of these Chinese people in Yugoslavia on vacation. I call them up, tell them what happened. The lady says, are you sure those aren't your shots? I said, ma'am, I'm glad you brought that up. I said, you know Ed? She said, yeah, TWA, right? I mailed him back to her. A week later, she sends me photos of the same people in New York with my luggage.
We'll be right back. Okay, my next guest has been with us before. She is a talented young actress whose movies include Biloxi Blues, Mississippi Burning. She's also a regular on the TV series Empty Nest, which is on this network at 8:30 on Saturdays, 9:30. Would you welcome Park Overall? Park? I apologize to you right away because we're a little short of time, so you already have an invitation to come back soon again.
You know, this makes me nervous anyway. I'm fine.
Yeah, but you know, I don't like to bring somebody out and say good night. How you doing?
I'm fine. Well, actually, I also have not had a cigarette in 13 days.
Really? Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm a little edgy.
Yeah, but good for you.
To say the least. Now, I've done this by roller skating and twirling a baton at the same time.
Yeah, that makes it up for not smoking?
Yes, and they think I'm like this pitiful actress circling the studio. Look at that poor girl. She must need a job. I mean, it's really pitiful.
But that's something to take the place of cigarette, twirling a baton.
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
Good for you.
Thank you. Now, we caught you smoking the other night.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, see, my boyfriend said, look, he's smoking.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Well, I hadn't seen you do it in years.
I'll pull out my baton.
You hate it, I mean.
Oh, come, give me a break. Give me a break, folks. Come on now. Gee.
Did you hate I mentioned that? We did catch, I had to say it. I just
Yeah,
did.
all right. I saw this picture of you in TV Guide this week.
Isn't that pretty?
You are on, I guess, a Harley-Davidson motorcycle?
Don't guess. That's absolutely right.
That's it, huh?
Well, I wouldn't be caught dead on anything else.
Yeah? Are you one of those motorcycle
Yes, sir,
nuts?
I am.
Oh, no, I don't mean that you're
Did you
nuts.
see
but-
my boots?
Wow.
Yes, I got those in a hardcore biker shop
Yeah.
in Glendale.
How long you been doing this?
For years, actually.
Yeah.
Now, we're upset about it because my boyfriend, you know, who is a professional biker, and I don't mean like bike gang, you know what I mean? I mean a rider for
He's not a punk, you mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, he's just ridden bikes all of his life. And now there's this thing called Rubbies, which is rich urban bikers. So since I'm like on TV and stuff,
So you're a Rubbie.
makes him look like a Rubbie.
Yeah.
He's totally humiliated. It's terrible.
But
I
you-
have to disguise myself when we go out.
But it's fun, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Now, you went back south to do a motion picture, right?
Oh, yeah, all the movies I've done, I had to move to New York to see the sale.
Yeah, was it fun going back and...
It was all right. I mean, it was funny when I was in Lynette, Georgia, doing Mississippi Burning. There wasn't a thing to do.
Yeah.
Did you hear me? Nothing.
A
In
thing.
Tennessee, there's things to do.
Not a thing, a thing,
A
right?
thing. Not a
T-H-A-N-G.
thing to do. And I finally, after days, I saw this biker
Yeah.
sitting outside the costume shop, and he had tattoos and stuff, and I was just, what do you boys do for fun? He said, nothing.
Yeah?
I said, well, you do go to church, and he said, well, there's the Holiday Inn in Lynette.
Yeah.
That's where I stand.
Yeah. Tattoo, do you do tattoos?
I go
You like
for
tattoos?
that.
You like
I really
tattoos on a
do.
man?
Yeah, I know.
Why? What is it about tattoos?
I don't know. I think scars make you interesting. I think. I
They used to say that, like,
I
you know,
do.
when they would duel and they got a scar, that was a badge of honor if you had a scar on your face.
do. Was it?
Oh,
you
yes.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
And my boyfriend went to the Harley shop for his checkup on his bike, and they were talking about, and the guys were saying they're this wreck or that wreck, and
Yeah.
the guy came by and he said this is that he'd had a wreck, and it was his first wreck or something, and the boy leaned down and he was limping. He said, you hurt your leg in the wreck? And he went, what leg?
You take a short time out.
Okay, well, that just about does it for tonight. Would you come back with us again, son?
Why, you know I will. Thank
You're a lot of fun. Come back and talk with us some more, okay?
Oh, thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay, and talk about your crazy pets and whatever.
Okay.
Next week, Patrick Swayze will be here, George Carlin, James Woods, Rodney Crowell, Gloria DeHaven. Who else do we have? Some big surprise.
Clark Gable.
Clark Gable? Boy, that man is a trooper. We'll have a nice night. We'll see you soon. Thank you.